All right, welcome everybody. We have two fantastic guests today. Wendy White, who is a marketing veteran, recently from CenturyLink, where she ran all app demand gen and corporate marketing. And Matt Millen, who recently came from T-Mobile to join us as our SVP of revenue. He ran commercial sales with untold number of people under him. We are here to talk about the collaboration between sales and marketing and how do we make it better. So with that, let me open it up with account-based sales and marketing. What does that mean to you?
As a marketer, especially a marketer who works on demand with sales, the last thing you want to hear, and probably what you hear too much of, is from sales, leads aren't good enough, not enough leads, quality leads not there. I think account-based marketing is a nice evolution of that conversation between sales and marketing because it allows you to together identify the target accounts and have a joint strategy for how you're going after those accounts, be it prospecting accounts or cross-sell accounts. It's together aligning the sales and marketing goals.
Yeah, that's a great point because so often there's not the alignment between sales and marketing, and your sales efforts just aren't efficient because the messaging and the positioning to the prospects isn't as tight because you're not leveraging the broader messaging, the broader brand, and the broader spend.
But wait a minute. Account-based marketing is new, but sales and marketing alignment is not new.
That's right.
So how is it solving a problem that has been around forever?
Well, ideally, it's a tighter alignment at the top. So in other words, a unified strategy to go to market.
Yeah.
And the marketing efforts and the sales efforts by design, by plan, are intertwined and coupled.
I think the big change is account-based marketing allows us to go from, and I know this is an analogy that's out there, but like net fishing to spear fishing, right? As a marketer, if I'm spending a media budget from driving inbound, it's really a little bit of, spray and pray, right? Whereas account-based marketing allows you to use your dollars a lot more efficiently against a known set of accounts. And a known kind of play strategy against those accounts.
Right. How would you say then you characterize this to your CRO or CEO even? Like, what kind of promises are you making ahead of this change? Right. You're buying all these tools, you change people's minds. You're sort of launching these long field enablement campaigns to get people to do what you need them to do to land these accounts.
Yeah.
You're disrupting processes.
Yep.
What are you promising your CEO they're going to see at the end of this?
Well, that's a great question because I think like any other kind of digital transformation initiative, right? You're hoping that you're going to both see, efficiencies, right, in the way the work gets done and the way that people do the work. But most initiatives, that's never going to be enough. You really have to have some assumptions about the ROI that you're going to see. Yeah. What are you going to see from, pipeline acceleration, pipeline growth? What are you going to see from, reduction in your cost per opportunity? Those are all important metrics that you're going to have to model out. You're going to use some smart assumptions, model them out, and use that as part of your selling equation.
Yeah, but that seems great while we're here, but how do you roll this out to 900 sellers? It's a lot of alignment between two people, but it's a lot more alignment between two people in every single program that you're running and everybody in the field.
Well, it's not going from 0 to 60,
That's right.
No sellers to 900 sellers doing account-based marketing at once. There's a lot of kind of preparatory work that I think goes into that, especially starting at the top around changing the strategy and the discussion and getting the agreement, for example, that your metrics are going to move away from leads generated to accounts lifted, right?
Yeah.
Like there has to be a very strategic alignment at the top. You don't go start off with like let's get sellers engaged until you have that executive level, management level alignment around, yes, we're willing to change our strategy about how we work together, we're willing to change the metrics of how we work together, we're willing to change the investment of the people and the marketing dollars and the sales resources.
And also segmentation. I mean, this segment doesn't go all the way down to small business.
Oh, interesting.
So I think clearly, you have different strategies for the markets in terms of, how you push into the market. I mean, that level of specificity and spearfishing doesn't work in this when you're trying to go approach customers in the 1 to 10 space. I mean, it's just not an efficient selling process at that level.
Even in the commercial space, under the very small or where you're going breadth and scale, probably not the right model. Where you have in the enterprise space very tight alignment around use case driven selling scenarios is an ideal model.
Right, where you have dedicated teams on a very small number of accounts.
And what about the people side of the house? Like, how do you change people's mentality to adopt this new account-based model where there's a lot more technology thrown at it when there is new processes. Who needs to change? Like
Everybody, yes.
But how do you start? Like, who is the first conversation, second conversation? Where do you?
For me, it starts with leadership. If the leadership's not completely bought in supporting and utilizing the tools, constantly messaging, communicating the value and the impact these tools have, you will have, at best, weak adoption.
Yep.
Your long-time sellers and your long-time marketers are going to use the long-time techniques that are long gone. You've got to have leadership bought in, driving, reinforcing, and rewarding the change.
I think the leadership piece is absolutely critical. And then just like any other change, there's usually a change agent. There's somebody who's the champion who, sees the vision, who's going to help paint that picture, be that persuasive, seller internally. And hopefully that change agent is somebody that is maybe can reach across the table. If it's a marketer, reach across to sales reach back to marketing. It really takes both sides of the fence to actually, do it together, right? In the instance of some work that we did, we kind of actually came at it both directions. Sales adopting one part of account-based marketing at the same time, marketing working on, the demand-based implementation, and we both came to it at the same time, and then suddenly brought both sides together and realized that it was one spectrum of of change, one spectrum of the conversation about the sales and marketing alignment.
Right. Yeah. And how does your infrastructure change? Like who is new, who is old, who do you repurpose in this new model, in this new era of account base?
Well, I think marketers have been moving towards data becoming more and more important over the last, many years, but even now the data and the insights are more important. So your customer data, the behavior data on the website, the data that you can see about what they're doing in the marketplace, your own customer data where you can do some propensity modeling against your own customer base, all of those things, those kind of tools are equally important or more important now. And then there's a new layer of tools on top of that. Companies like Demandbase that allow you to do things like IP, based advertising, where you can just target a specific set of companies with a specific advertising campaign. Companies like Outreach, where then you can, once you have that target account, come to your website and you get buying signals, you better have a plan then to attack that account full court press.
Yeah, and you made a great point, Manny, which is, look, sales and marketing have been around for a really long time. And the truth is, your best reps, before all of this automation and all the available tools, they figured out how to get this done very manually, very efficiently. And what you're hearing now, and what many companies have not yet embraced, is the amount of technology available, not just for marketing, but also for sales, to add workflow, automation, intelligence, and some predictive just thrust into the business to cut out a lot of non-productive time.
Yeah, I think you hear a lot in the marketplace, especially if you are on the buying end of IT. You hear a lot about digital transformation, but I think the reality is sales and marketing is the place where digital transformation is actually happening in a real way right now because of that ability to implement these technologies and see a real impact in your sales and marketing effort immediately.
Well, there you have it, folks. Just get in, get dirty, and get it done. And with that, talk show about Outreach.